What's up, Vape Fam? Today we're taking a look at the Whitebone Rta from Umier, I think. It's another name that I am going to have a hard time pronouncing. O-U-M-I-E-R. Umier? I don't know. If you know, let me know. The Whitebone Rta is a interesting little RTA with a clear little window in there so you can see your coils. It does come with multiple top caps. We will be doing a giveaway for 2 of these at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. I know it's a little bit later than usual into the month, but our April giveaway. Before we get too carried away with anything, though, we have to go up close for the breakdown to see what makes a vape. Alright, and let the fun begin. Here we are up close with the Whitebone Rta. This is the packaging it comes in. Got a little color code up here. There is a black one available. I don't know if there's any other ones. There's a nice little flip open top box. You have your contents on the back, a warning, scratch and sniff code. This came straight from the company, so let's dive right in. You have a little do not nom bag here. Please do not eat those, no matter how much you want to. A second top cap for the deck. I'll show you that in a minute. A second drip tip. This is like a, I want to say it's plastic. It feels like plastic. This one has a single O-ring on it. You know what, I'll show you that in a second too. You have your little goodie bag. Goodie bag has extra O-rings, extra screws, and an Allen key in it. Both the red O-rings and the clear O-rings. An extra piece of glass, and the tank itself. Let me show you the tip while I'm thinking about it. This one has 2 O-rings on it, and it still has a little bit of play. This other one has a single O-ring and wobbles a lot. So I've been using the see-through one. Actually, does this come all the way off? It looks like it comes all the way off. I have not tried removing this plastic piece yet, which is surprising because I really like taking things apart. It will come off. Okay, so the plastic will actually come off of the metal. It is a top fill. You have a screw on top here. The threading is actually pretty nice. I just took that whole top cap off though. The one thing that I've had a couple little issues with is there is this, one of the clear, let me try and get to focus, one of the clear gaskets, one of the clear O-rings down inside of here. Mine does pop out on occasion when I take my lid off. It hasn't been a big deal. It just, you know, push it back down in and go. Pull the glass off here so I can put this chimney on and show you. This threading is not as good as the top cap threading. It still threads pretty easy, but you will feel it hang up just a little bit once in a while. You have your single O-ring here at the top that the chimney actually presses down, the top cap actually presses down onto to seal, like so. The glass is double O-ringed. I have not had any leaking. I haven't had any juice getting past it. And you have your 2 top caps. Now, there is a distinct difference between them. One, obviously the viewing window. But 2, and this is another big one, the ID. Because of the viewing window, there is an extra piece of metal in here. That extra piece of metal means that you have to run a smaller build with the clear window. So if you want to run a slightly larger build in this deck, you have to use the metal chimney. It's still nice, it's still well machined. The threads on this are actually really good. I think the threads on the metal one are actually a little bit better than the glass or the plastic one. They both have this weird little airflow design, the little anti-spitback design. I'm not going to be able to show it to you really well, but basically that tiny pinhole there is not the only way for the vape to get through. There are actually slots around the outside of it, so the juice that pops up will hit that so that it can't come through, and the vapor can still go through the hole and come in and around the sides up through. So there is still a decent amount of airflow through these top caps. Don't let those holes deceive you in there. And then we get to the deck, and this is a big monstrosity because of the way it's all put together. It works really, really well. It is a Velocity style deck. I believe this is a brass coating. It could be a gold coating, but I really think it's probably brass. The screws, the threading on the grub screws is really good. I haven't had any issues, any stripping, any problems with that. The airflow is a little bit tight. These two holes here are your airflow. These corner holes is where you're going to put your wicking. Now, it does have an external juice flow control, and the way it works is you adjust your air, right, like so. But to adjust your juice flow control, which are these little slots here, you're just going to keep going. And it has this nice click and really nice responsive feedback, like so. Then to close it, move the air, to close it, you're going to move the airflow the other way, like so. And now it's closed off. It works really well with a build-in, with the glass on, all put together. I haven't had any issues with it. The 510 pin is not a protruding 510 pin. Please do not run it on a hybrid mod. Please, please, please. You have the Whitebone Rta logo, this little skull guy here, serial number, designed by the company, so on and so forth. Putting it together is really easy. Glass goes on. I'm sorry, no. Cap goes on. Glass goes on. Top cap goes on. And then drip tip of choice. And there you have it. Reassembly, no problem. I'll put a quick build in here so I can show you how I wick it. I am running 2.5mm ID coils in here, and I'll show you why in a second. Alright, before I go ahead and do that, because people are going to ask, I've got the screws backed out here. Got a 2.5mm ID screwdriver. I've got 5 wraps of 22 gauge Kanthal. It'll probably come out around 0.12, if I recall correctly. Just going to go corner to corner like so. Try and switch hand for you. There you go. Corner to corner like so, just like any Velocity deck. Get it pushed in. Grab my Allen key. Tighten it down. Come to the other side. I'm actually going to push that in a little bit further. Tighten it down. Now that I've got both sides in, I will snug these up all the way. Looks like crap, but that's okay at this point. And that's all it's going to be. It's just a quick, easy little build just to showcase this. I'm going to clip the leads. I'm going to get them set up. I'm going to get the hot spots worked out, and then I'll show you how I wick it. Alright, there you go. Hot spots ironed out. Nice even glow. Ready to wick it. As always, we will be using the cotton candy collection, and the reason I am running 2.5mm ID is because of the cotton candy collection. The stuff is so dense that there was just too much cotton on a 3mm coil. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to pull some off. I'm going to roll the end down. Even this might be too much for this 2.5mm ID. We'll find out. Should work. Come on. There we go. Grab it, pull it through. Grab the scissors, Probably have to trim this a little bit more here when I go to pack it down. And then we're just going to do the same on the other side. Roll the end, get a nice point on it. Wick it through. Snip and snip. Okay. Now, the wicking points are not very far. You don't have to fill the holes. You just have to get like kind of into them a little bit. So this is going to be too much cotton. What we want is bring it down just basically to the bottom of the threads and snip it off. This side needs a little bit off. This corner needs a lot of bit off. And this side needs a snip or two. I like to use this really tiny little screwdriver pretty much for everything I wick. We're just going to take the cotton, we're just going to kind of work it to the hole. Making sure the hole is good and covered. Like so. Repeat. All four corners. This still might be a little too much cotton on this side. Oh no, there we go. It's tucking in there just a little bit. Like so. There you have it. Quick and easy. Wicking's pretty simple and straightforward on this. Grab steep by steep, new drips on the block. We'll throw a little juice on here, get the cotton nice and wet. Where am I at? I am at 90 watts. Seems pretty good. We'll re-wet this real quick and then we'll put it back together. Okay. So the next thing we're going to use is the top cap. I did not check to see if this is going to fit with the clear one, but it should. It does. No problems. So now you can see them, see the coils inside the little viewing window. See how quick the condensation builds up in there. Then we're going to stick our glass on like so, and then our top cap and drip tip. First let's put a little juice in there, huh? Make sure your juice flow holes are closed before you do it. It's just a good habit. I have not tried to see what would happen if I left them open. I am not really tempted to. You can see how tight that clearance is by how long that juice is taking to drain down to the bottom. It's still draining. It's still draining. Air bubble over here is fighting really hard to get out. So it is a pretty close tolerance, and if you're using really thick juice, you might have to give it a while to fill up. Obviously it does not hold too much either because of that close tolerance. It does not say how much it holds, but it can't be more than maybe like somewhere 3 milliliters at the max, I would assume. So then we will just open our juice flow control using the airflow ring. Click, 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 and it's open. We should see some bubbles form. Yep, there they go. And those will steadily work their way out. Until then, let's go back up, talk about it, and we'll vape on it. Alright guys, that was the up close and breakdown with the Whitebone Rta. Interesting experience with this RTA. When I first built it, I used a 3mm coil. I used the cotton candy collection for like everything. It's really, really dense cotton. And with that 3mm coil, it was just a bit too much cotton. It kind of had trouble wicking and keeping up. I stepped down to a 2.5mm ID. Problem solved. That took care of it right off the bat. So it was just too much cotton. It does leave very little room in between the actual deck and the glass itself. So sometimes you'll see bubbles getting stuck. I don't know if you can see that one. They get stuck in there sometimes. They do eventually work themselves out. So it works. There's no issues with it other than when I pack too much cotton in there. I like that it comes with two different chimneys, or not chimneys, two different deck caps. So you can actually run a slightly bigger build with the metal one. You kind of lose a little bit of room with the clear one. And it does, I don't know if you saw it already, but it does really cloud up inside that chamber, so you don't really see it all that well. It is still a unique little feature, and I do enjoy it when it's clear and I can see through it. The machining's been pretty good on it. I haven't found any sharp edges, any burrs. The airflow is actually a little bit tighter than I expected. Even wide open, it's a pretty tight pull. I mean, that's a very subjective thing, I know. I like the clear drip tip. I don't much care for that weird red one that was in there. I don't know. It doesn't appeal to me all that much. Again, that's subjective. Everything works. Top fill works fine. The 510 pin, as you can see, it is not a hybrid compatible tank. Do not run this on a hybrid mod. Please don't. Gaskets work well. I've had no leaking. Well, especially since the first time I had too much cotton. But no leaking even with the 2.5mm ID coils that I've been running now. All in all, it's been working really well. The price, they didn't have an exact price for me. Guesstimating somewhere between $30 and $40 retail price. I'm going to try and find it online, look around, see what I can find, and I'll just link to whoever's selling it in the description. But for now, we've got 2 to give away. The channel's really growing, so I'm going to give myself a pat on the back, and we're just going to hashtag HavokNKhaos. I haven't done it that way before. I'm doing it now. The channel has been growing. Thank you guys. It's been great. We're over 750 subscribers already. It's very, very big surprise to me. I didn't expect it to grow so quick. So we're going to go ahead, hashtag HavokNKhaos. You do have to be 18 or over. You will have to get a hold of me when we do the giveaway, but I'll give you the details in the description when we do the giveaway video. So it's going to run for 2 weeks this time. I know that's into May, and this is supposed to be the April giveaway. The channel got slow, work got busy, it happens. But we are going to give it away in 2 weeks, so keep an eye out for the video. I hope you guys found this video helpful. I hope the winners like this tank. It's been interesting. I like it now. I was mad when I first put those 3mm coils in. I couldn't figure out what the problem was because it's a pretty standard build for me, but that cotton was just too much for it. That's all. Like, subscribe. It helps me out. If you have any questions, comments, anything I didn't address, anything you would like to see in the video, anything you want to say, leave it down in the comments. I try and get to them as best I can. Hope to see you guys again soon. Till then, suck, blow, and keep on vaping.